Hi, in this video, I'll be talking about how to find friends and support, perhaps in unexpected places when you're going through breast cancer, its treatment, and then in the re-entry period into life after breast cancer. As we've talked about in other videos, it can be a very isolating time being diagnosed with breast cancer, going through treatment, and especially when you're done with treatment and you're not seeing your medical team as often. And you may find that isolation to be worse than some of the other things you've been through. This is a common thing that I hear. You feel abandoned by your medical team, even though, of course, they're there for you, but you're not seeing them weekly like you did during radiation, or every 2 to 3 weeks like you did during chemotherapy, or every 3 months. So it's important to think about how else you can get social support. One of the biggest predictors of quality of life is having social connections, and meaningful social connections where there's an equal give and take. So one place to look is to a community of other people who've been through similar things. Even if you are not sure you're going to receive support, you may find it helpful to support other people. So part of support groups is not just receiving, but it's also giving. If you are one of those people who likes to help other people, you know what I'm talking about. There's something really good about exhibiting kindness towards somebody else and telling them you're not alone. And then in that, you feel less alone yourself. So how do you go about finding these groups? Well, you can ask your medical team, including your social worker or the social worker in the hospital where you get your care, where you might find a support group. Even if you're not somebody who wants to share a lot about what's going on with you, just hearing that you're not alone with all the emotions and the physical experiences can be really helpful and therapeutic for you. You can also go to websites like the American Cancer Society or breastcancer.org and find online communities where you can just share stories. You can use our chat below to share your experiences with other people. Then something I want to acknowledge is that you may be done with breast cancer. You don't want to talk about breast cancer. You just want to be a person. Yes, you had breast cancer, or maybe you're living with it now, long term. But you want to remember the other things about your identity. You're a musician, you're an artist, you're an athlete. You like to cook, you like to knit, you like to volunteer. There's nothing that says you can't reclaim those identities or find new hobbies and activities, new friends, by creating new networks. There's some of my patients who've called life BC, before cancer, and AC, after cancer. And if friends have let you down, your BC friends have let you down during breast cancer because they didn't know what to say, or they said maybe less skillful things like, at least it's breast cancer and not another cancer. There is no end to the sort of unskilled things people can say. If you don't want to reconnect with those folks, find a new circle of friends. I know it's easier said than done, especially in times where we're working remotely a lot of the times, or we are used to being on our own and distancing 6 feet, both metaphorically and physically. So it's certainly not easy to find friends, but putting it out there that that's something you want to do will make that more likely to happen. I'm not talking about things like manifesting, which a lot of folks subscribe to. It can be a favorite word you might hear these days, but I'm talking about opening up space in your heart and your mind for the possibility of new friends, whether they've been through cancer and its treatment or not, whether they're people that you normally maybe wouldn't have thought about being friends with. So there are a lot of opportunities. If you've had an experience where you have found new friends, drop a note in the chat below, because other people can read that and see different ways of finding people. There's Bumble BFF, where you can find friends who live close to you or who are more remote, and you put in things about yourself without disclosing much about your identity, and other apps as well. So get creative, let people know you're looking for friends. It can feel a little vulnerable but that's just how we make connections, and be open to meeting with different kinds of people. Social connections, again, really important for your health, not just after and during breast cancer, but for our overall health. We've become increasingly isolated. You don't have to let breast cancer be a time where you lose your friendships. Thanks for watching. If this has been helpful, click like and subscribe. That will help other people find this channel. And you can learn more about your treatment options by visiting yerbba.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram.